Claude Opus 4.5 was recently released. As such, I want to run an experiment that I've been running against all of the other CLIs out there. I'm going to walk through what I'm doing, what the experiment is, and we're going to see really how good 4.5 Opus is. Hey everyone, Sterling here. So I've run this experiment against other coding agents, and in this case, I want to run it against the new Opus 4.5. In this video, what we're going to do is I'm going to break down the experiment, then I'm going to run through the code, and then we're going to run through the architecture and see how well it works. Let's dive in. Okay, so on my screen, I have on the right-hand side, I've got cursor open, and I've got the project, which has the project plan and the Fleet Spec API. And on the left side, I have Claude Code, and you can see that it is running 4.5 Opus. My goal here is I want to give Opus just a clear project plan. Okay, that project plan is to build a full stack application, dashboard for monitoring and managing a fleet of delivery trucks. This API exists. I'm going to open that up in Railway here in a moment. I'll put the chapter times down in the description so you know when we do this. But this is the setup aspect of the project. So the project plan just clearly outlines what's going to happen here. I've got an API that's already existing. I want to build a whole dashboard for it. So I've got the tech stack. We're going to use React with TypeScript, styling, your choice, meaning the choice of the LLM, Tailwind, CSS modules, or styled components. Deployment, if we need to deploy it, we'll use Railway or Vercel, and we're going to use NPM or Yarn. All that said, the core features, we have our fleet overview. I want to display all trucks. I want to show key metrics, and I want to have real-time delivery updates and filter and search capabilities. We're going to do delivery tracking. We're going to have truck details, analytics and reporting. I do want this to have a responsive design. We'll test that a little bit. And then here are the development phases. So I have 5 phases here. Phase 1, just set up the project and the API integration. Phase 2, set up the core UI components. Phase 3, design or data integration and state management. 4 is analytics and visualizations. And 5 is polish and final deployment. So here's the success criteria that I'm setting up. I want to make sure that all API endpoints are successfully consumed. So with that, let me go over to my OpenAPI spec, and you'll see this is a really large YAML file. I've got a lot of endpoints here, and I'm not going to go through all of that. We don't want to go through a YAML file. That's always kind of boring. But suffice it to say, there are a lot of endpoints here, and you'll be able to see I've got vehicles, I've got drivers, and so on and so forth. So let's head over to Railway and let me show you what I've got. So in Railway, I have 10 different tables here, and these tables have been populated with, I've got, thousands of deliveries. I've got 50 drivers, multiple trucks, and 6 months worth of data behind all of this. So we should see a robust dashboard coming out of Claude 4.5 Opus. As in with previous experiments that I've done, I'm using the exact same prompt that I'm going to go into Claude Code with, and that is I have a project plan and an API spec in this directory. Please review both files. Let me know your approach, and if you have any questions, begin implementing the project plan, and I'll check in between major phases. And with that, now we're just going to let Claude go and build. Okay, here we go. Now, in this case, one of the things I do anticipate is while it's thinking, it is going to come back and ask me some questions. So we're not going to speed up any of this. We're going to let just 4.5 Opus do its thing right now. It's going to think, it's going to come back to me. I'm sure it's going to have some questions, and then I'll just let it run. Okay, so I'll provide it. In this case, you know what? Let's use Tailwind CSS. I was hoping that it was going to give me an opinion, but in this case, it's just asking me an opinion. That's okay. We'll use Tailwind. We'll use recharts. And here we go. Looks like it's using Vite, and it's setting everything up. Go ahead and let it do all the NPM installs. I mean, at this point, because I'm doing this, I'm going to put my headphones on and start some music. Feel free to start your own music and join me. I'm not actually singing. Okay, so it looks like we're done with phase one. Actually, it looks like we're done with more than phase one, but I think we're going to go to phase two. I'm going to add the API URL, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've added that. I've added the API to Railway into my .env file, and I'm going to let Claude know. Okay, so we're done with phase two. Connectivity verified. We've got all of it. And you know what? Let's just open this up. Let's go npm run dev. Oh, I need to go into the fleet dashboard. There we go, npm run dev. Wow, look at that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to kill this here. That way we're not stepping on each other. We'll let Claude Code continue doing its thing. Well, phase 3 is complete. So we're going to start this again. Okay, we'll run npm run dev. All right. So now we should be seeing auto refreshes every 30 seconds. Apply filters. Okay, so let's look at this. All right, so that's a little hard to read, but that's okay. Let's do everything in transit. We'll do express. All right, analytics. Let's see, there's nothing here, nothing to filter here, but these are all the filters. Let's look at the failed. So all priorities. If I click into that, it tells me, goes to the customer information, delivery, en route, scheduled. Cool. All right. Let's move on to the next phase. There we are. We are compacting. So if you've not used Claude Code before, once you get to a certain point, once you've gotten to a certain point and the context in the conversation is so long, it's going to compact it all and basically just make it so that it's a smaller load, so that it'll start a brand new session, but with that added context from the previous session. One thing I like is that it just said fix the unused. What I'm noticing here with Opus is that it is being able to look and say proactively, it's like, hey, this is unused, we're gonna get rid of this. Okay, so the dashboard is ready to use. Let's run the dashboard again. Let's see what happens. Okay, recent deliveries. Let's look at analytics. Oh, I like that hover effect. So apparently our fleet has a 98.2% success rate. And we can refresh the data. Quick links. Oh, I like that. Okay, let's look at this one. Let's look at this RAM 2500. It's active, so we know it's active. Maintenance history. Map integration. It does not have a map integration here, and that's okay. All right. Let's move on to the okay. There we go. So it's updating the README. Okay, so we're going to set this up with Vercel. Yeah, I don't have the Vercel CLI installed, and that's okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's going to actually install Vercel globally. All right, we'll see what happens here. We'll let it run. Knowing what's going to happen, it's going to require all the auth. Yep. All right, so we're going to call it there. And I just let it know, don't worry about that. And let's just finalize, see what happens. That should be the last thing that it needs to do. Okay, so it's given me everything. We've got a responsive design, mobile sidebar. Okay, so I'm going to open this. Let's run this again. But what I'll do is I'm going to open this in we're going to run this. We'll zoom in. And in this case, I'm going to open up the dev tools and let's turn this into mobile. Remember when those looked bad? They were all white. We can look at the box truck. Oh, look at that. That looks pretty good. Deliveries, we'll check the deliveries. High priority, delivered. Oh, interesting. In transit. No deliveries. Something's going on. I need to check that. In transit. Priority standard. So let's just double check. All right, so it looks like we don't have a lot in the other priorities. That's okay. And then analytics, let's take a look. All right, so if I click on these, if I'm on my phone, I could be tapping on these. Okay. It's okay. These are not my favorite. It's cut off here. But these are things that I could easily just add. I could add the Chrome DevTools MCP server and let it open it up, take a screenshot of the image or screenshot of the website, and then, let Claude go and fix it. So let's get rid of that. So overall, this looks fantastic. I'm going to take a moment here and let's actually look at, I want to take a look at the architecture. I want to see kind of what's happened, see how I feel about what the architecture looks like, where everything's at. So we're going to kind of minimize Claude code. And let's take a look at how this project is set up. So we'll close the project plan here, and we're only in the fleet dashboard. Here's our dist. We've got our node modules, public. There's that. Our source has broken into various files or various directories. I've got components. Let's look at all the components that it built. Okay, so it's got some pretty good components here. Yeah, I mean, for me, this, I really like what I'm looking at, what I'm seeing. It's got the index.ts files. And let's look at, so that's the components. Let's look at the hooks that it's created. Use analytics, use API, use the dashboard. So this is the use dashboard. Close the page. Let's close that. Let's open to the pages. So here's what the pages look like. If loading, if there's an error, what I should do is actually go back and actually create some errors, and see what these errors are looking like. But, right now what I'm seeing here is organized well. I'm seeing that, the organization is well done. I like how things are broken up. There's a lot of components. I have no problem navigating, finding what I'm looking for. There's my app.ts file. Let's look at the main.tx. Yeah, so there's not much that I'm super concerned about. Actually, nothing I'm super concerned about. As a front-end engineer, I feel like this is going to be a really solid base. This is the README file. It's going to let me know this is what we're doing. A real-time operations dashboard for monitoring, managing a fleet of delivery trucks built with React, TypeScript, and Tailwind. We've got all of everything. I mean, here's how to run it. Make sure you've got, make sure you update your .env file, and everything looks good. So this is ready to go. There you have it. This is a wonderful experiment that's been run. I was able to one-shot an entire application using Opus 4.5 in Claude Code. I am going to push this up to the Postman's Developer Relations, our GitHub, so you can see all of this plus the actual API, the Railway API that I've got. You'll have access to that open source code, so you can just download it and push that up to Railway yourself. But overall, I love what I'm seeing here. I really, really appreciate that Claude 4.5 is fast. I mean, all total, from the beginning to the end, that was with all the phases, breaking everything down, I was just a little over 40 minutes of Claude Code writing this code. So for me, for 40 minutes of my time having an existing API, that is fantastic. And if you like this, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, we'll see you next time.